Dear, it's Alex Clark. The whole point of this is you made a video talking about gun control, comparing it to cats. Mean cats being the bad ones, nice cats being the docile ones. I don't know how much thought you had put into this, but I'm guessing from your standard YouTube videos, you didn't put much thought into how you were going to compare the two, because it can't be done. You can't compare a living entity to an inanimate object. It doesn't work. Because for one, my guns don't shit all over the house, or even in a litter box. I don't have to clean up after my guns. I can put it on the table, walk away for hours, I'll come back and find it in the same space hours later. Now, I do understand cats sleep that long, but that's kind of irrelevant to the situation. And there was some in your comment section that tried to justify it by saying cats equal gun, claws equals shoot. Okay. When you can find me a cardboard box that can stop a bullet, you might have something like that. You might have something there. Or, if I can stand 10 feet away from the animal, and I'm hissing and clawing at me, and I don't get hurt, and you could do that with a gun, you might have something there. But you can't compare a living entity with an inanimate object. That cat does not need human interaction for it to do whatever it's going to do. It can walk around without you. It can attack without your approval, which they do. If your cat runs across somebody's throat in the middle of the night, it can cut the throat open. My gun's still going to be on the table where I put it. It hasn't moved. It's not going to do that. I can actually completely unload my gun. It doesn't change how dangerous it is. You can try to make a cat as docile by declawing it, but then you'll have a whole bunch of animal rights people up your ass. So, again, I understand that you're trying, but trying with limited or no research whatsoever is ignorant. Now, I'm not trying to attack you, which I'm going to guess most of your fans will assume I am, but you made a bad comparison. You cannot compare a living thing of any kind to any type of inanimate object. A gun needs a person to interact with it. Without a person, a gun is nothing but a paperweight at all. That's all it is. No person, it's a paperweight. Can't say that about your cat. But the fact that there's a cat and there's a gun in the room, that cat's still more dangerous. Because, like I said, claws. They don't need you to use them. A gun needs you to pull the trigger. And if you still think it's a viable comparison, I can throw my gun in the safe for about a month or any amount of time. I can pull it out. Nothing's changed. It'll still function. Can you say the same thing about your cats? Or would you even try that? Think about that for a second. You made a bad comparison. Learn from it. Just a thought. Now, I'm going to make sure the title directs us to your Twitter feed in hopes that you might actually see it. And seeing I didn't attack, I just point out the holes in your story or the holes in your comparison. It was bad. You can't compare living with inanimate. It doesn't work. Interesting how you made the NRA the bad guy in your video, or the one to say, well, if you don't have one, you know what you're talking about, or some reference like that. No, what most people are saying is, unless you understand how a gun functions, stop talking negatively or positively about it. Either direction. Because if you don't know, then you're going to look like an idiot. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. I know how a gun functions. I own them. So I can talk to the best of my knowledge of how they function. Even the ones I don't. There's not too much of a difference. And again, that scary, scary gun, AR-15, I'm pretty sure you're trying to point out, doesn't fire any faster than my gun. Versa Thunder 9 Pro. how often this thing fires? 1 time per trigger pull. And in single action mode, almost a hair trigger. So I can still technically fire this thing faster than somebody with an AR-15. Single action mode. Oh, no, this last one was single. This is double action mode, which means as I pull the trigger, this happens, then it goes back up. 2 actions. I figured there was no point in saying that in the video, but I figured I'd give you a little bit of knowledge on the way out. Anyways, I hope you learned a little bit of something about from this. And if your fans attack, I'm not going to blame you. Matter of fact, I even saw some of your fans a little disappointed in this video. But hey, man, you can't win them all. You can't please everybody all the time. It just doesn't happen. Until then, have a nice day.
You cannot invade the mainland United States. There would be a rifle behind every blade of grass. Isoroku Yamamoto.
And you've just seen another video by Running Guns News. You know the drill. Sub if you're not. Hit the like or dislike button, whichever. You may support me through either Streamlabs, Maker Support, or Patreon. Until the next video.